Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective, and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found in the public domain, and I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everyone to do their own research and to view this video subjectively. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Saturday, the 14th of September, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be looking back, and I'm trying to figure out why the public don't seem to like Meghan. I've put some feelers out, and I've asked some people why they didn't like her and what made them see her for what she really is. I'm going to go through some of the major things in chronological order as to why I and the public think she could well be the Duchess of Deceit. We all know that there was a certain amount of mystery surrounding when Harry and Meghan actually met, and that prior to Harry she was in a semi-successful cable network show that was in fact coming to an end. She started coming onto the public and the press's radar by drip-feeding little subtle hints like the spooning bananas and clandestine trips to London splashed all over her Instagram account. So it wasn't like she wanted it to be kept a secret. That was hint number one. Of course, Harry had completely other ideas and didn't actually understand that his new partner had other intention. He actually released that infamous statement instructing the press to leave her alone. Yep. Lo and behold, she goes and releases that big Vanity Fair magazine cover stating her claim and saying that she was mad about Harry. Then we have the humanitarian aspect that she likes to portray. Now, it started when she went to Africa and India, where I believe that she was planning this role that she wanted to put out there and still does today. This humanitarian role has been pushed so hard that I think the people are just fed up because it doesn't feel genuine at all. Most people that do true humanitarian work do it without pomp or gratitude. They just simply do it quietly, and that's enough for them. People have raised the issue of the infamous engagement interview in which she sat doe-eyed, all little Miss Innocent, playing the perfect role, asking, is he kind? And all of that nonsense. And I think that was the turning point for most people, because as normal human beings, we can see when somebody is not being genuine or simply a phony. And I'm not sure whether it happened in this interview, but I think it happened subsequent days following this one, where Harry actually said that now she has the family that she never had. And I think that's when people stood up and started thinking, no, hang on a minute, because that's when Thomas came out and said, this is a complete lie. She's had a really lovely childhood, and I don't know where this cobblers has come from. We were all really confused about the sheer rush of the wedding. And then, of course, Princess Eugenie having to delay her wedding because they wanted theirs first. Now, I'm not quite sure whether that's a line of succession issue, but as the public, we found it a little bit baffling. And I think the general public just questioned the sheer speed of it. There were so many stories about her demanding behaviour. Everybody called it tiaras and tantrums, and announcing that St George's Chapel was stuffy and then it needed air fresheners. And it really doesn't endear yourself to the British public. And again, so that's more red flags for everybody. They all kind of systematically add up. It's not just one thing. It's a multiple issue of things that people think, hang on a minute, this isn't right. The wedding itself was chock full of celebrities. Even invitations were sent out to people that neither the groom nor the bride actually has ever met. Who sends out invites to the biggest day of their lives to someone that you've not met? Then she was dressed in absolute pristine white. It was blinding. And for somebody who's actually on their second, or some may believe to be her third wedding, that seemed to be a little bit cheeky. Add then the over-excessive train, and just the whole wedding just seemed completely off. And then, of course, we have the issue of her father not being well enough to travel conveniently, so Charles walks her down the aisle with a big smile on Meghan's face. It just didn't make sense, and everybody who watched it that I've spoken to basically said it was a farce. And actually, quite a lot of people have commented and said it didn't seem genuine. She seemed like she was playing a role and completely acting. Others said the turning point was how she behaved towards her dogs, saying that one couldn't travel because he was too old. He was 4, for goodness sake, he was 4. She could have taken him. She just didn't want to, basically. Didn't fit into her life. And that, as a nation of dog lovers and animal lovers, doesn't sit too well with the British public, to be honest. Then another very poignant moment for everybody, and this is the killer, that basically everybody says it was Princess Eugenie's wedding that showed her for exactly who she is. She attended her wedding in a purple coat, a normal purple coat, long purple coat. First 2 buttons were done up, the rest were undone to make it look like there was something to hide. She knew exactly what she was doing by wearing that coat and the buttons the way she did, and giving the impression to the world that she was pregnant. What normal, sane person sneakily dresses to make sure the focus is on them and not on the bride herself? She knew damn well that the world would draw the conclusion that she was pregnant. And she knew exactly what she was doing. We all know that. What woman would do this? Completely steal the show and all the attention from somebody's big day. And that in itself shows exactly what sort of character she really is. And yet, if you still weren't convinced, we then had the very long elephant pregnancy with the ever-changing bump, the coat flipping, and the constant hand on the belly trick. The whole pregnancy was one long self-promotion. I think that's what people see now. She's focused on nothing but herself. And if that didn't put you off, does the debacle of the birth then not raise flags and concerns? She'd been so in our faces throughout the pregnancy that when the baby was in fact born, we were forbidden to see it. It took everybody by surprise, I think, and it alienated a lot of people. The whole, has he been born, has he not been born? It felt so tacky and so kind of secretive. You just think that's not what it should be about. We should be rejoicing. And it all made us feel a little bit ashamed, really, that we can't celebrate because we're not entitled to know. And then we're proceeded to be produced with the peekaboo pictures of a foot here and half a face there. It just puts people off, really, doesn't it? But do you actually think she cares? We're led to believe that she's struggling to cope with the negativity. And I say that if something isn't working, then you need to change your attitude. But then that leads me to ask, does she want to? Does she believe that she's got the problem or that we've got the problem? And those of us that have come into contact with people that have a narcissistic personality disorder are very aware and good at recognizing those traits those individuals have. Can most people see her for what she really is? Is it a slight understatement to say that it's the biggest role yet? It's a role of a lifetime for her. But, as I've said multiple times, public opinion, especially with the royals, is a fickle and unforgivable thing. I've tried to pick the most important points that I feel, and from research, what the public have felt with regards to why she's not liked. And I think if I've got to pick one point, I think it will have to be that she doesn't feel genuine. She doesn't seem to be genuine in anything that she does. I think people can see that she has an ulterior motive in what she does and everything that she does. And that makes me very, very sad for the monarchy. So what was the pinnacle point that turned you into looking a bit more closely at the things she does and why she does them and the fact that they're not genuine? What made you realise who she really was? Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.